Hello, everybody. I don't know why I scheduled this so early, but hey, I am up, and I see everybody needs coffee. I had some. I need to make more. I'll do that after my live cast. So, got my cats taken care of, and let's see. Let's do this first. Welcome to episode 43. We love you 1000. Making comics and art. So yeah, I am currently at 801 subscribers, trying to get to 1000 to once again be a part of the YouTube partnership. I was previously. They changed the rules, so working towards their new rules and new goal. And let's see. Thank you, everybody in the chat. I'm up too early. Need a coffee bad. Need a shot of coffee as well. What time is it over there? 11 a.m. 5 a.m. here. Shows your cat soon. Well, I got 4 cats, and 2 are in the other room, and 2 are outside. So that's not happening for me to get some work done. I can't have them here. I don't trust them enough to not jump on my desk, sit in my face, knock over my ink. But maybe I should just take some new pictures of them and post them during my stream. They are my babies. But yeah, so this is my for anybody new here, my sort of new YouTube series where I work on my comic retro and talk about things that are going on. And a lot of times recently I've been having guests, and not sure if it will be the next episode, but Tuesday night I have a guest lined up. And that is a fellow by the name of Steve Ogden. And Steve is a comic maker. He's got a couple of creations under his belt. And he's just a really smart guy. Really talented artist. And I'm thrilled he'll be joining me. It's funny, he used to do a podcast from his car. And I believe it was a time, and he might still be, it was a time when he was, I think it was living in Los Angeles, he's definitely was West Coast, I believe. I think he's East Coast now, but we'll touch base with him and catch up to what he's doing, and um, it's really been a while since I really kept tabs on everything he's doing, but it'll be my first time talking with him, so I'm excited about that. Oh, I follow him on Twitter too. Awesome. Gravy Guzman. I'm new. What are you working on right now? What are you working on? Everybody wants to know. Um, this is Retro. Specifically, you can see him hanging out at a desk in this panel. Retro is a character I created in my late teens, and now I'm working on the first issue. And if all goes well, I'll be publishing the first issue this year, and I'm really, really excited. For the first issue, I had a friend of mine, Rich Fuchsia, um, pencil it, and I'm inking it. But he's gotten into painting, um, which I'm totally jealous. But you can find a link to his YouTube channel, and he's also on Instagram posting his work down below the video in the video description box. I have lots of links down there. For you to check out. I have a comic book group on Facebook, and I'm pretty much all the regular places you can find me. But I'm here today to shill my YouTube channel, see if I can get more subscribers. I just, in the past month, I've probably gotten more than the previous months. So I'm really grateful for that. And I'm just been busting ass and working on my comic, and I got other projects going on at the same time, paying gigs, and I'll possibly be working on a novel soon for somebody. Just getting the contract worked out. If that happens, I can really shift into high gear with a lot of what I want to do. Believe it or not, I won't have to look for jobs weekly. That's for sure. Being freelance is a challenge, especially with the global situation and all that. Um, Marv. Okay, let's see. Maybe you can answer me this. Why is Thor 6 by Holtz a big thing right now? I'll have to look that up. I'm not even sure. I haven't. I don't know the reference. It's still early, and I definitely hope you enjoy. Thank you, Emma. Um, yeah, I'll have to look up that reference. If anybody else in the chat knows of what he speaks, then chime in. Um, is it bad and bloated? Ginger ass? It will be. It will be. That must be rewarding having creation from your teens kind of fusion. I can't say the word this morning. Um, yes, absolutely. I mean, it it was back in my teens. It was like a friend of mine and me came up with superheroes one afternoon, summer afternoon. Um, and it really wasn't more than a name and a costume, um, which have remained for the most part very close to the original creation. I wish I had a, a picture of the drawing I did back when. Um, but I've lived so many places since then. Kind of got rid of a lot of stuff along the way. Um, but definitely super stoked about getting closer every day to getting this first issue done. I hope to have the inks done this month. Sort of been randomly jumping around while I stream, and I'm gonna really take a closer look this week to exactly where I'm at and if it's realistic and all that. But I should be close by the end of the month getting inks done. This way I want to focus on the production end of things, which will take me a little bit. But I got some people working with me. I'll definitely be be so cool, and I don't want to scrimp on like extras I have in mind for the back of the comic. And this is going to be a 40-page book, 28-page story, and yeah, other things. It'll be a drawing of Retro by a friend of mine, Gaz, on the back cover. The front cover is already done. It needs to be colored. Got my friend working on colors. Next month I'll start getting pages to my letterer and start going over notes with my friend Karen, who's going to help me with setting the book up. And yeah, I want a lot of fun stuff in the back of the book, as well as a peek of the first batch of pages. You'll see them as pencils, then as inks, without the lettering. That would be one of the extras. I have a few quotes that will go in there, some fan art, some fun stuff. Let's see, where are we? Uh, good luck with that. Good luck on that, bud. Thank you. Marv, hi, buddy. I just came here to say, guy, hi. Gotta go out and buy some groceries. Take care. Oh, thanks for visiting. When doing a mini comic, it is frowned upon to keep the panels between 1 and 4 per page in a simple block style. Oh, is it frowned upon? Um, Nothing is frowned upon if it's done well. Let's see, 1 4 page in a simple box style. I don't think so at all. You know, I've seen a lot of mini comics and, done all sorts of ways, sticking to kind of a standard, straightforward format you know, doesn't add or doesn't lessen anything. It's all about the ingredients within the panels, um, as far as I'm concerned. You know, and Marv goes, "A graphic novel, that's great, congratulations." Yeah, it's a project I'm making. My friend Mark Torres wrote originally. It was going to be a 5-issue miniseries, then published as a trade. But they're releasing the single issues digitally and then putting it all together as a graphic novel. But yeah, it's good stuff. The art's really nice, and that's going to be a lot of fun to show people. It's always got to be Karen telling you how to do stuff. Okay, I'm not sure who Karen is, but there's always someone telling you how to do stuff. It's like, I know for me, I'm the worst critic of myself. Um, I am definitely influenced by what people have to say, meaning I give value to people's opinions to a certain degree, but I tend to go with my gut. I've been working in comics since 1991, and while I still have a ton to learn, I've mostly been inking books. I worked for Marvel and DC back in the day, worked for Valiant, had stuff published by Image. But now it's like this. Okay, so Retro is a metahuman, and he's the first of 7 heroes I'll be doing, and then I'll be doing a team book. And as far as self-publishing, I have a lot to learn. As far as writing a book, I have a lot to learn. After reading literally thousands and thousands of comics and interacting with creators throughout the years, it might be a little shinier, but I gotta get more light on what I'm doing. I know I can do a decent book, write a decent book, and give my characters decent adventures. and I'm really inspired by comics I grew up with. Those specifically from the night, from the '60s to the '90s. Also grew up on heavy metal, and that will be a big influence. My comic will be mature, so not heavy anything, but there will be nudity in it. There will be eventually, you know, violence. People are a lot more accepting of violence than nudity. Why is that? Okay. Um, but yeah, I hope people like my character and his world and the world I'll be creating from scratch. It's definitely I definitely have a lot planned for retro. Once I'm done with the first issue, I'm gonna take a little break and develop the next 3 or 4 issues together, story wise. So yeah, I mentioned Rich Fuchsia has only penciled the first issue. I'll be taking over the art duties as well. So you'll see a lot more closer to my vision. I let Rich really run with. I showed him a lot of drawings I have had of retro, but I let him run with his sort of interpretation of it. Um, and it's not too different. You know, retro does have rock star hair. His costume is almost exactly like I want it. He has 2 colors on his costume, which is red and purple. The purple parts of his costume I want darker, so there'll be more black in the darker parts. Like the main, you can't see. Let's see. Okay, you can kind of see. Like the main strip down the middle will be red, and then the sort of side parts and his arms will be purple. So those will be darker. He sort of drew it open. His gloves will be red. His boots will be red. It'll be fun. And Ginger asks, "Are you doing the colors also?" My friend Marshall Lee, who's also on YouTube, will be doing the colors. Um, I don't know if he plans to do them ongoing, but he's definitely jumping on to help me get the colors of the first issue taken care of. And it's going to be colored like a comic from the '60s or the '80s. It's going to be old school coloring, so simple, straightforward coloring. Um, one thing is like with digital coloring, a lot of digital colors are heavy, and I want the artwork to stand out more. Being an anchor uh, throughout my career and seeing what colorists do to my work as I was published by the different companies and I've also worked for a slew of independent companies. Um, the art always seems to get washed out, and I really want people to see, all the effort I put into the pages. So it'll be simple, straightforward coloring, and you know, depending on people's reactions to the first issue, I might really take that into effect with what I do going forward. But I grew up, started reading probably in the 60s, comics, and, it never really bothered me. I thought it was more iconic back in the day. Um, you know, like heroes really popped more. Now everything is like over rendered and over colored and splashing every color of the rainbow on every page and everything. It gets a little generic, maybe is the word. Where there's so much going on with the artwork, and then with the colors on top of it, then the pages are lettered, and things get a little more lost. It's a lot more difficult to really carry home a point, um, where where everything's heavy-handed. Not to say it can't be done, but and this is just my opinion. He keeps calling me ginger ass. How dare you? I called you Ginger. Ginger Megs. You want me to spell it out? I'm sorry. Let's see. Okay. Bum, 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 bum. But yeah, it's like I mentioned earlier that I've been having more and more guests on, uh, giving other people a chance to talk about their creations, and just chatting with them. It's always good to talk with people doing the same thing as you are, trying to achieve the same goals. You can learn little things along the way faster. So we'll see if all that pays off. I've been talking with creators my whole career. Um, Even though for the majority of the first act of my career, I was only inking, and really, other than looking for more work at conventions and going to meet people in person, um, I was really just working at home, which I'm still doing. Um, keep my head down and getting work done. You know, uh, I always considered myself shy and, um, more when I was growing up in my younger days. Um, I'm still shy to a certain extent, but, you know, internet, it's kind of easy just to meet people, talk with people. What's going on? I color in that retro style also. Maybe I'll come back even though you call me a butt. Oh, sorry. I don't remember calling you a butt. Yes, my character is called retro, and the coloring will be considered retro style, definitely. And I mean that wasn't my original goal. I was, I was using this guy who was doing computer coloring, and for the most part, I was happy. But he only did a small amount of pages, and he was just taking too long. I had to give him the heave ho, and that's why my friend stepped up and said, "I'll do the coloring for you." Um, and I hate that about sort of business, but had to be done. I mean, I gave him every chance to do me right, but it goes that way sometimes. So yeah, I did a very short, brief Kickstarter for Retro last year, and those people are going to be getting their copies first. Then once all that is done, shipping out to them and making sure everybody got their copy, I'll be doing it Indiegogo for much longer. So the Kickstarter was only 5 days, and I raised just under $2,000, and I had approximately 80 backers, 80 people that will be getting a copy. So I want to make sure all of them get their copy first, and then I'll do the Indiegogo. Barring any unforeseen events, I do have to finance that happening out of my own pocket at this point. Um, but it won't be too much. It'll be a good amount of money, but it won't be crazy money. You know, luckily my lifestyle is pretty cheap at the moment, and I'll be able to uh, cover expenses. But for me to do above and beyond and pay off everybody, I'm definitely going to need to do an Indiegogo, because I believe in making sure everybody's paid for their work on the book, and we'll figure out going forward. If this is the team I'm keeping, or I probably need to get other people involved. It's like the great thing is I know so many creative people, um, but everybody's involved in multiple projects of their own and working for other people. A lot of my friends work on comics but have day jobs. So I'll have to touch base. Not too worried about it. I'm back. Got coffee. This is looking good. Oh, thank you so much, Emma. So is everybody watching and in the chat? I know there's more. There's probably more people watching than have spoken in the chat. But is everybody an artist working in comics, or you just make art? Let's see, what else is there? Oh, I'll mention. Yes, there's a lot of links in my um, in the video description box. One of them is to my link tree, and I don't have a lot of links on my link tree itself, but I do have a few that I want to mention, which is two friends of mine are doing Indiegogos right now for their comics. One is Russ Leach, who is doing a book called Only Death Will Save Us, and that's live on Indiegogo right now. I've had him recently on my channel, a few videos back, and hopefully I can get him on here again before the campaign's done. But it's going pretty well. I think he's 30-something% funded thus far. So I do hope he gets fully funded. He has probably 20 days left. Another friend of mine, Gibran Redinger, started his campaign at the same time, and he has one for a book called Doom Barbarian, which you can also find that link within my link tree. Oh no. Danger to Will Robinson. Oh. Oh man. Okay, good. This has happened before. They didn't make quality control on this brush is not as good as other brushes I've had, and I tried to fix it before. I may have to step away for a second. All right, let me do that. I'll be right back. Man, oh man. Never thought that would happen. All right. I think I did smudge. Gosh darn it. Oh well, I'll fix it. It's minor. All right. So what happened is the metal portion of my brush fell off, and I just tried to squeeze it a little bit so it stays on the holding part. That's never in my whole career. That's never happened on another brush. Totally wacky. This is a Winsor Newton Series 7, number 3. Um, I've had a million of these that I used in my career. It's number 3 for anybody interested. So yeah, that's crazy that it would happen like that. But what you gonna do? All right, sorry. All right, where am I? All right. Mm-mm-mm. So was I talking about something? Links, yeah, is all the links that are down below, and there's additional links that you can find. In my link tree, which that link is down below as well. I've been so I did an episode recently called Pimp Your Comic, where I had friends show up and talk about what they're working on, and that went really, really well. So I am doing that again. That would be monthly, so it won't be until next month. We're almost halfway through this month. It's been going crazy fast. So I hope everybody is doing well, staying safe, staying sane. I know a lot more people have been staying indoors and not going out and doing things. For me, that's mostly my lifestyle. um, so, I have been, depressed at times and more anxiety at times because of the global situation and, well, really like lots of concern about the state of things and if it's going to stay this way. Um, but I'm in a good place again. It's like comes and goes. And definitely a horror story out there with fires recently, hurricanes not long ago, race wars, riots in the streets, and question about, you know, should we have police? Because they're not acting the way police should be acting. And it's an election year, and it's not a pretty picture currently. But I find joy in what I do, and that gets me from staying in my head too much and talking with other creators. So it keeps me grounded. Uh, so I think today I'll go an hour. So another 15 minutes. Thank you for everybody who showed up in chat. You've been really awesome commenting and keeping me company. And regardless if you show up while I'm streaming or watch later, give this video a like, comment. If you are watching it later, I've been getting less and less comments. Seems to be more about the interaction while I'm live, which I'm more than happy for. But I do like those that comment if they watch it later, and it does seem that a lot of people are watching these videos later a lot more than catch it live. So leave a comment. Have a question. If you're working on comics, maybe something related to that. If you're just following what I do, then make a comment about supporting me. I don't know. And there are different ways to support me. I recently got currently my 10th Patreon. I have a Patreon page where those that like what I'm doing can throw me $1 or more each month. I have sort of different tiers. I haven't been doing a lot with that, but I am going to start working on a comic called Worlds there, and you can get an advanced look at that. And while this is retro is inspired by a lot of comics I read growing up, Worlds would be inspired by a lot of manga and anime. I was shown more later in my career, although I was aware of some stuff. Probably one of my favorites. I mean, my overall favorite is Akira. Then Ghost in the Shell. And there's some other stuff, but one of my favorites that I collected from Dark Horse Comics back in the day is a book called Blade of the Immortal. I just freaking love the art on that. And I was told, I always thought it was all brushwork. And maybe that's the case. I got to research it at some point. I want to, sort of read it all the way through first, I think. But somebody was telling me or alluding to the fact that that might have been like a lot of it is just pencils, which could be. It's a very sketchy style, so I wouldn't be surprised if it was. Um, you know, now that I've heard that, I'll go and really look at the art. Maybe I can scope that out and see it. Where previously I thought it was just all brush because it's not a clean style. Um, what other manga do I like? Manga. Um, what was that one called? Shoot. There was a lot of stuff on Netflix that I got into. Well, another popular one was Tensi Moto. Jeez, I'm gonna butcher anything I try to think of. Um, there's the one with the giant robot where once you link with it, you go on an emotional ride. I forget the name of it. I'm bad with names. I used to, back when I was really collecting and reading a ton of comics, I kept tabs of so much, not only the comics themselves, but the creators involved and everything. Um, Now, not so much. It's like I did it for years and I wasn't really like reviewing comics or anything. It was just, I think partially I thought that knowing who's involved and, who's the publisher, who's the editors, who's the creators, the writers, the pencilers, inkers, even kept track of a lot of colors back in the day. But, it didn't serve me in any great way. It's like, friends were impressed that I knew a lot at the time, but didn't get me more work or anything, which I think was my intention. I'll save some of that. So I use brush, I use quill, I use repeater graphs. So a lot of the finer work I might save for when I switch to a quill. Um, and I gone quiet. Well, looks like my chat went quiet. Thank you, everybody who showed up before. I was kind of worried that I'm starting early. Like for me, for my time zone, it's early. Um, Wasn't sure if anybody was going to show up in chat. I posted around a couple of places, but you never know. You never know. And it has been more active lately when I've been streaming, but I've been streaming evenings for the most part. I like this. I like consistency of schedule, but also sometimes on a whim, try see what happens if you do it at a different time, a different day. For the most part, and try not to do this every day because I got a workload where I need the days in between to work on other things. This is my personal project, currently not making me a dime, so that's why. Hope once I really get this book done and out, that both me and Rich, the penciler, can make some decent money off the original artwork. Unlike working for a company, I'm not going to make a ton of money. The benefit is, if it's a successful ongoing series, then, it will bring me consistent money as opposed to working for a company where it's a one-time payout. So that won't work. So yeah, once again, I'll mention that, this episode is, we love you 1,000, and that's my goal here on YouTube, to get to 1,000 subscribers. Really, it's like, if I was consistent on this channel since I began YouTubing, I've tried a lot of experimental stuff and different things. Probably nothing too exciting, but if I was consistent since I've been YouTubing, I would probably have 10,000 subscribers right now. But I've dropped off plenty of times. More for life reasons than anything. But now, now I'm on a more of a goal to really not let that happen as bad. I'm tempted, so I will. But yeah, slowly getting up towards 1,000, and it's pretty much I've been getting subscribers every day for the last 12 days for sure. The last month has been very fruitful for getting more and more people aware of my channel, and that's it's hard to post about things, and like you're trying to get the word out, and the algorithms don't work in your favor. But I was successful to bypass that. Some of my friends who've been following me for years are like, "What? I never even heard that you're doing videos." It's like, hey y'all, I am. Thank you for finally acknowledging that. Hey, busting my ass on YouTube and talking to myself for years now, and you don't know. Marsh makes comics. Good morning. What are you doing up so early on a Saturday morning? Are you working on comics this morning? Uh, I was just talking, telling, um, like the reason for the title is I'm trying to get to 1,000. As you are probably aware, I finally passed the 800 mark, so it's going pretty good. And Marsh Makes Comics is my friend who's going to be coloring this book, who I should make sure to get some artwork to him soon. I got too many little deadlines. Jeez, this past week has not been useful. I took some days off and I thought I'd get a lot of work done, and it's like all of a sudden I had this other thing had to get information to and get as much done as possible as I wanted. But it's going things are going okay and things are moving forward. Um I gotta do some artwork over the weekend. Um yeah, so, got more than a couple of deadlines. But if that book deal finally goes through, then I'll be able to relax a little bit. And heck, if I get the advance I'm should be getting all at once, I might actually be able to move this year. Which, if you've been following me for any length of time, I'm dying to. I live in a decent area, but I really need a bigger place. And I'm just in a small town in Kentucky, and I want to rent a home. So we'll see how that goes. I know some of the money I gotta put towards printing, shipping this book, Retro. Ba, ba. So yeah, we'll see. We'll see how how it all pans out. I'm hoping to find out this month if that's the case of getting, like the contract to sign and be getting the full advance. Maybe I can move next month to 1,000 and beyond. Yes, absolutely. Usually get up early, no matter what day it is. I'm going to try and get a first Calamity Jane script finished today. Awesome. That's one of Marshall's projects he'll be working on. I've been thinking lately. I don't need to take on more work right now, but yeah, I definitely been thinking more that I want to write stuff for other people. Maybe for my own company, which means I got to find a way to finance it. Much like yourself. You know, because I think between all the comics I want to do for Has Comics and all the web comics I want to do, um, and I still want to be busy working on other people's projects, meaning ink for other books outside of my own. Maybe draw some stuff for other people. But I think writing is something you can do more of. And yeah, it's definitely a lot of one shots, miniseries, maybe. It's definitely I want to do some real, real true graphic novel eventually. I do want to do something with my brother, but I won't until I'm fully in charge of my schedule. Which when you have too many things with other people, my schedule can turn on a dime. So maybe next year, we'll see. I'll give him a ring one day and see if he wants to do something together. I know he wants to do more of his own creations than work for other people. And he had another book on Kickstarter recently, and he wants to do more of that. So we'll see if he wants to work together. I haven't even brought it up. Mostly when I talk to him, it's just to connect and catch up. Not with work, but with life. Yes, I'm using StreamYard. Um, yeah, writing and painting art is a great way to make comics if you can afford it. Yes, that is the trick. Um, yeah, I'm using StreamYard. I've paid for a month, so that's why I can do the fancy where is it? Fancy branding. I could show you My Has Comics Dude. That'll be my comic line. And this is just my studio, Human Art Studio. And see how they're slightly similar? They're both going up towards the right ish. That's because I try to be inspiring. But yeah, I can. Let's see. Well, anybody could do it, I think. Let me go back to that one. Where is oh, here we go. Do do do. I could do ticker tape. So trying to get to my goal of 1,000 subscribers and beyond. I'll turn you off. So Marsh says, I'm contemplating paying for it. I can afford it, but it's way too expensive. Yeah, I mean, it is, but um, it is one of those things that is helpful to what we do here. So there's that balance. It's like I'm not rich, and yes, it is expensive. But also I don't like being limited to the hours available of streaming. Meaning, I tend to stream beyond the limit of their free version. So this is the second time I've gotten it, and I only got it for a month. But I really like it. I mean, this is you can't see it now. But if I go away for a second, you can see that I can, put a backdrop. If there were two people here, then you could see my backdrop behind us. With one person, it's just takes up the full screen. But man, I'm starting to get really hungry. Haven't had breakfast yet, and I only had a cup of coffee lying around. I have to make a fresh pot of coffee for my day. Yeah, like I mentioned, yeah, I got a lot of little art jobs to take care of this weekend. And yeah, I'm not sure, like my next guest would be Tuesday night. I mentioned early in the Artcast, or whatever this is called, Making Comics and Art. Steve Ogden will be here Tuesday night. Fantastic illustrator, writer, creator. Not sure if that might be my next time I stream. I would like to stream before that, but it depends heavily on my schedule. But I've gone over an hour here. And I'm thinking definitely need to get some breakfast in me. Need to take care of my cats a little bit. So yeah, I'll say, yeah, if you haven't already, give this video a like, subscribe if you haven't, share this on your social, share it on Twitter, on Facebook, on wherever, tell people about it if you got a YouTube channel. It's been going very well here lately, and I want to keep it up. I want to mention to Marshall, since he's still here. I really loved the show you guys put together. What was it, last night? On Teresa's YouTube channel for her getting 400 subscribers. She's above that now, but um, we were all working digitally on the same canvas. It was very cool. Not sure, like you mentioned, doing a drawing show. Not sure if that's what you have planned. I might have to break out my tablet and figure it out if I'm going to join in. I thought that was really awesome. Yeah, I may take the plunge, but I wish it were a little cheaper. Go eat. LOL. Yeah, let me go do that. Thank you, everybody who showed up in the chat. Thank you, Marshall, for coming by. Yeah, this things are going smoother lately, and I like to keep it that way. So I got to make sure I finish a lot this upcoming week. But making progress is always too shiny on the page. Yeah, I'll stream at least a couple of times this week. Why isn't it clicking? There you go. And I'll see everybody again shortly. Thanks for working alongside me. I hope